Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Bob Noveck, the medical director of the Duke Clinical Research Unit, and I'm here this afternoon with Dr. Jim Costin, who's the Vice President Executive Director of Perisphere Pharmaceutical Company. And we have an interesting clinical trial that's a first-in-man with a first-in-class drug.
The compound is called Perisphere 977. Its generic name is ripazine. And it's, as you said, Bob, this is the first clinical trial that we started with this compound, and we obviously chose Duke to put this into man for the very first time. It's one of the main problems that we have when you are anticoagulated with the new oral anticoagulants such as Pradaxa, Pixaban, Rivaroxaban, Edoxaban, and so on and so forth. Is they're very good anticoagulants. The main drawback that they have is none of them have a reversal agent.
So we have already on the market about 2 or 3 of these new oral anticoagulants, and there is no reversal agent yet available.
That's right.
And so you chose Duke to do your first study. Can you tell me why you came to Duke?
We needed to go someplace that could conduct the study just from a logistics standpoint, conduct it well and conduct it thoroughly, and that's why we picked DCRU. Also, we picked it because of the expert help. So if we run into a problem, if we see an issue, if something comes up, we feel that we can go and get the necessary expertise regardless of what that problem is here at Duke University Medical Center.
Yeah. And we've already started this study, and we've dosed a number of healthy volunteers because it's a first-in-man study.
That's great.
And we have made middle changes along the way, and it's been a very interesting journey so far.
Well, it has been, and that's the other aspect of it too. I mean, any study has to have a protocol, and you have to conduct with a protocol. But at first, in human trials, you do have the flexibility of making adjustments as you go along. And Duke has been very good about making those adjustments that we've asked to be made as this has progressed. We have 7 different cohorts in this first study, and I think almost every other cohort we made some small change to better investigate what the drug is doing. And the DCRU has been very good about helping us with that.
What are your implications for clinical development and research in the future? What's the advantage of this drug?
The main advantage from a clinical development standpoint is that once we have this drug out there, once we have a reversal agent out there, the use of the new oral anticoagulants should dramatically go up. They're much safer drugs than warfarin and heparins, so I think there will be a real advantage to physicians who will now have a reversal agent for the new oral anticoagulants that they don't have right now.
Well, Jim, from my background and from being an emergency physician for a number of years, how in the emergency room setting do you feel that this drug will have an impact?
Well, one of the first things that any ER doc realizes when a patient comes in who's bleeding, if they're on an oral anticoagulant, the first thing you're going to try to do is reverse it. And right now we can do that relatively slowly, but we can do that with warfarin. We can do that with heparin by using protamine. Low molecular weight heparin, however, continues to be a problem because there's really no good reversal agent for that. But the new oral anticoagulants that are out there are much better drugs than the old warfarin and heparins. Their main drawback, as I said, though, is that they don't have a reversal agent. So if you come into the emergency room, you're bleeding, the first thing the emergency room doc is going to want to do is to reverse that bleeding. We believe that if Para 977 is out there, it will provide very quick reversal. We're talking about minutes to reverse it, not hours or a longer period of time. So we believe it will provide a very strong way for physicians to feel more comfortable with using the new oral anticoagulants.
So, Jim, in the future, once we get this drug approved, where do you see it going? Where do you see it in terms of after it's being developed?
I think that there is the obvious use of emergency bleeds, emergency reversal. Somebody needs to go to surgery, they need to be reversed. Somebody comes in with a bleed, they need to be reversed. So the emergency use is fairly straightforward. However, I think there's also a place for the elective use of this drug potentially, and that is that there are a lot of patients, as you know, Bob, around here with atrial fibrillation or various arrhythmias who require anticoagulation. And some of them need to come off of that anticoagulation in order to have procedures, maybe a biopsy, maybe minor surgery, maybe dental work, maybe whatever it is. I think what this will do is it will allow you to give a drug to reverse the anticoagulant maybe 30 minutes, an hour before the procedure, and then it has no problem whatsoever if you want to restart it right after the procedure. If you want to restart the anticoagulant right after the procedure, you can do it because the drug will have worn off by then. It's a short half-life drug, so you can give it, reverse the anticoagulation, do your procedure, and then start the patient right back on his anticoagulant. It won't interfere with it.
Well, that's very interesting and exciting, too, to find a drug that's not been used before for a class of drugs that has such beneficial effects.
Right.
And now to merge the two together, it's very synergistic and very, very positive.
It's an exciting part
It's
about
very
clinical
exciting.
development, isn't it?
It sure is. It's very exciting.
Yeah.
Okay. Jim, I want to thank you very much again for joining us today. It's been
My pleasure.
It's been truly a pleasure.
My pleasure. It's always a pleasure to be at Duke.
Thank you.
Thank you.